Maine Knows How is made possible by you and by these community-minded sponsors. Modern Woodmen of America, a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. Together with our members, we've been touching lives and securing futures since 1883. True Enterprises, a local solar installation team with over a decade of experience delivering custom energy solutions across Maine. Sebasticook Valley Federal Credit Union, supporting our local community with valuable services, a friendly atmosphere, and caring employees. J.W. Parks Golf Course, a 9-hole facility with a full-service golf shop and driving range. Pine Grove Programs, supporting veterans, first responders, and law enforcement by providing free outdoor opportunities for those who serve and their families. Moosehead Trail Trading Post, offering quality hunting and fishing gear with expert advice for your budget and outdoor needs. And by Digital Spirit Media, delivering over 30 years of technical expertise in media and event production. Maine Knows How.
Welcome to the fall edition of Maine Knows How. We are starting to get some cool temperatures. It's flannel season.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite time of year.
It is. It's nice.
We just got done bear hunting.
We did.
Yep.
How'd that go, guys?
It was a great season. Yeah.
Jeff did a tremendous job.
Yep.
Yep.
He was out there baiting and
He was
guiding.
baiting. He was, and he did a great job. He had some very unique hunters. He had some good stories about bear hunting, and these guys really, really enjoyed themselves. They had a great time.
So for those of you who don't understand the bear hunting season, in the sense, Pine Grove Programs, we sponsor several veterans, police officers, and first responders to go out on guided bear hunts that are baited, and they go out every day, every night, and Bob has the lodge where other people will fill in the slots, but they stay quite active. You guys are really active during bear season.
Yeah, we're running all over the place all the time. And in addition to doing that, Paul takes some shooting and skeet shooting and target practicing and make sure everything's on the money, so there's no other excuses.
Paul does a great job of getting battle site zeroed.
And it's so good because better than half can't hit the target.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's just that they haven't shot the rifle.
I bought this gun on the way out.
That's right. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
But sighting it in is critical.
Boar sighting it in can be a long ways away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it would be a tragedy to get out there, have a bear come to the bait,
Yep.
and hit the tree behind the bear because you're not ready to go.
It's so much work to get a shot at a bear for these guys.
Bear season's over. I guess you guys will lay low for the rest of the year until spring or so.
Something like that. We go into hibernation? I don't quite think so. But
what you got coming up?
Well, we have some bird hunts that we've been doing. We have a golf event we just did. Deer season's coming, and that's a full-time job. We've been working on that for a year. We work on it year-round.
Right.
Really. It's such an overtaking as this deer hunting business, because we are deer hunters by trade.
Right. Yeah.
We take bear hunters, but really we're deer hunters. That's what I love.
But let me go back to the bird hunting. We do that. We did that in October. And what kind of birds and how do you go about doing it?
Right. Well, we have some fellas that come, bird dog handlers, come as far as New York and bring their bird dogs to come and take veterans. Then we have guys from Rhode Island come with their bird dogs to take guys. And we strategically show them a bunch of covers where we know there are birds, and they bring veterans that come and stay, and we put them up and they bring them, and they go hunting for a day or two. And these guys work their dogs for them, and depending on their ability, some guys can't walk, some guys might have to ride in a truck, and we'll do that also. We just get in a pickup or a Jeep, take the doors off and ride along. They just have to step out, load their gun and try to shoot one.
So the robins and the hummingbirds have gone south.
They're
So
gone.
what are you
Good thing.
hunting?
Good thing.
What kind of birds?
Well, mostly grouse and some woodcock.
Ah,
And it's been really good. This year seems to be a fair number of birds, so it was really pretty good.
excellent.
Yep. They really enjoy that type of hunt.
But fast on the heels of bird hunting is the big season.
It is. It is a big season for us because we're deer hunters by trade.
Right.
That's what we like to do.
And how many deer hunters will you have here at a time?
Well, we usually have around 20 a week.
20 a week.
Yeah, and we have a lot of stands, over 100 stands out, and we put these stands out all winter. We spend a lot of time setting these in the right place, according to where the sun comes up, where the sun drops. You can't be shooting into the sun all the time. So, and according to which way the wind's blowing, here it's out of the northwest, and we have to set those stands accordingly. And then we have we have ground blinds and we have huts. The lanes are got to be cut and flagged in and flagged out and heaters put in them, and because not everybody has the same ability.
Right.
Yep. So then we have guys that want to do their own thing also. So we have a satellite imagery. We can, blow up a map, show them where to go and where the bedding area is, and print it off and give it to them. And they go and do their own thing.
Now, in past episodes, we've talked about the deer in the woods in Maine are different than farm deer.
Yeah, a little bit.
These are real wild creatures.
They aren't as compacted in areas. If you have a farm with 2 big fields and a little strip of woods in between,
Right.
deer are probably going to be in that strip of woods. Here, you have wide spans of open, like hardwood or thickets, and so it's harder to nail them down on exactly where they are. And so a lot of our stands and blinds are on those major travel routes, and so we try to find those places, in addition, like instead of over a cut. Well, we like cuts, and those are fine, but they don't last as long.
Right.
You can have a stand on that travel route that can be there for that can be there for many years to come. So it's worth more to us over time to be on those travel routes than it is over a cut. After 3 or 4 years, you can't see into those fresh logging areas because the trees all grow back up.
Right.
But if you can find those areas where they're always moving through, those are really what we're looking for.
Strategical places. We spend a lot of time strategically finding places to put stands. And I've even lugged stands up over a mountain to get to this notch that I needed to be in because of the way the woods were cut on the other side. We're forcing the deer to use this. And as long as I have a hunter that will do what we ask them to do, and that's stay. Don't make all kinds of noise and
quiet.
do all the stuff they can do. Just go and sit. And we could tell you all kinds of stories that successful and unsuccessful. So
Well, we'll be hearing some of those stories, I'm sure.
You will. Yep. That's good.
We'll be back in a few minutes with our guest for today's episode. Thanks.
Looking to save on utility costs? True Enterprises is a local solar installation team with over a decade of experience delivering custom energy solutions across Maine. Whether you're powering a home, business, or large-scale project, True handles everything from design and installation to long-term support. They make the process simple and the results reliable. Call today for a free estimate or visit trueenterprisesllc.com.
Welcome back to Maine Knows How. Today we have a special guest, Matthew Landis, and it's really important for us to explain how significant this is to have Matthew here, because Pine Grove program exists for a particular reason. We want to reach veterans, first responders, and law enforcement where they are. These groups of people have different stresses in their lives than just about any other career you can have. I mean, jobs and careers can be stressful, but you're not seeing life and death. You're not being put in that stressful situation. And these groups of people with their special stresses need a special release. And at Pine Grove, we believe God's given nature, the environment, just getting out in the woods is therapeutic. And Matthew, I think, has a great story for us today. That's very obvious, his personal story of what he went through. He served in the service, and Pine Grove program doesn't have the resources to be the solution or to introduce the solution to anybody, but we have the ability to be part of that solution. And as a faith-based organization, we are always going to be promoting Jesus and everything that we do. But we meet folks where they are. And some people aren't there yet. But us being able to reach out and talk to people and encourage them when they come to the lodge, and what Bob and what Wyatt do, just amazing to help people stay on their journey or get on their journey. But with that, Matthew, I just want to turn it over to you for you to share your story, and I'll probably interrupt you every now and then.
No worries. That's no problem. Well, first of all, I appreciate y'all having me here. It's been a journey to get here, and I believe my life's story is a story of God's grace and how
Amen.
He has turned a mess into a message. And I served in the United States Air Force during the first Gulf War. I was in missile defense systems at NORAD in Colorado. I'm a father of 3 daughters. At one point, I had, when I got out of my military service, I had a house, I had a job, a car. And in 2020, I was living in Colorado. I was out bow hunting elk. And that was in 2000. And by the year 2003, I was homeless. I lost everything, my family, everything I owned. I was literally living on the streets. And that happened in a matter of 3 years. I had 23 felony counts against me for doctor shopping. I was fully addicted to, I had alcoholism, and I was addicted to pain medication. And that took over my life. I was spiritually dead. I was alone, and I had lost not only my family and the things, like material things, but I lost who I was. And part of that, and losing that, was my deep, deep love for the outdoors. My grandpa was served in World War II. He was a United States Navy on a submarine destroyer. And when I was 3 years old, he started taking me fishing and hunting. And I had that passion for the outdoors. And when I lost it all, when I lost my family and all that other stuff, I wound up, I was in Fulton County, Georgia, and on my birthday, July 22nd, in 2015, I suffered a near fatal overdose in a Burger King parking lot. And
so from 2003 to 2015.
Yeah.
So for a 12-year period, you're struggling.
Yes. Yeah. I was living up and down the East Coast pretty much. I was either homeless or couch surfing. I was in and out of treatment centers. And finally, that day that happened, where that overdose happened, an EMT actually stayed with me in the hospital in Atlanta. And when I woke up, she was like, "Look, I don't know what you're doing, but you need help. I don't know if you're open to it, but there's a place called the VA. You're a veteran. I got your, they just took your car. They impounded my car. All I had was in the car, but she kept my wallet, and she looked at my wallet and she saw I was a veteran. And she was like, you might need help. If you're open to it, there's a place called the VA. Well, there was a year wait to get into the program. So I lived literally on the streets again for that whole time, almost a year. in and out of jail, just getting myself in trouble. And I was literally begging and borrowing I drink to pass out. And just that I lived that life over and over again. And then finally, when I got into the VA, I began that slow, long 10-year process of recovery. Mm-hmm. And that is, why it's because of the kindness and love of other people and developing a relationship with Jesus that I sit here today, 4 years to this day, 4 years, 7 months sober, free from everything. And it's been a long journey, but it's been people and the relationships that I've built along the way that have been able to bring me back into the life I once had. And part of that journey was my last recovery center was in Sheridan, Wyoming. And it was stationed right at the base of the Bighorn Mountain Range out there. Mm-hmm. And I began to put a backpack on and get back up into the mountains a little bit. And spiritually, I think the outdoors for me, it allowed space for God to begin to work in my life. And it allowed room for me to begin to heal. I got away from all the sound and just the fight or flight mode I was living in. And the outdoors is where I met God. And he began to slowly work in me and began to heal me. And to be able to reconnect with the outdoors that way in Wyoming led to several years later, me landing out here in Maine. And I was at a trade show, walking around, and I knew by this time I had a deep relationship with my Savior, Jesus Christ. And I was walking around this trade show looking for to be honest with you, I'm not sure where I went, and I wasn't sure what I was looking for. But the last table I went to, there was a pamphlet, and it said Pine Grove Programs, a faith-based ministry. And I grabbed that thing so fast. And I began to have a conversation with Paul, who was at the event. And he told me, this is an outdoor ministry. We believe in Jesus, and we take veterans that are struggling into outdoor adventures. And I was blown away. I was so excited. And that's what led me to Pine Grove. And there is a lot more in detail I can share. If you'd like to know about my journey, I can share more, but that's how I found Pine Grove. And I can for sure say that they have made a huge impact on my life. Just last year, I came up and went on a turkey hunt. And, it wasn't even about the hunt. No. It wasn't. It was about, first of all, the relationships. It was about people that loved me for where I was at, that let me into their home and took me hunting. And it, like I said, it wasn't even about the getting a turkey. It was about being in the outdoors again. And to me, there's nothing like being out there, being in a tree stand, and bow hunting is my passion again. And I've been able to develop relationships with people that have been able to connect me with the outdoors, and that's Pine Grove has been a huge part of that.
I want to interject for a second, and I want to talk directly to our veterans watching. Matthew mentioned the VA. And the VA has worked very, very hard to reduce that wait time of a year that you suffered through waiting. Mm-hmm. And so reach out to the VA. But I also want you to understand, no matter what state you're in, physical state, and there is a Veterans Services Bureau in all 50 states that is state-run, not versus federal. And particularly in Maine, it's Maine Veterans Services, and it's the same name in every other state with the state name. But they have connections to all of the other veteran organizations that support veterans going through recovery or struggling through, or if they're homeless. There's so many resources out there. Yeah. I think we can learn a lot, Matthew, from your situation, that you don't have to couch surf, because there are organizations. And I think one of the key things is to make sure our veterans understand to pursue those
Absolutely.
opportunities through the the State Veteran Services Bureau in your state to connect you to that help.
All right.
I think the other thing that really stands out is that my dad was a drug and alcohol rehab expert. We went through our lives. I'm one of 9 kids, and we always had somebody in recovery living in our house with us. And I have a lot of sayings from my dad. And one of those sayings is, if you want to make changes in your life, you have to make changes in your life. And you know, that really seems to be a big part of your story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of my sponsors once told me, I remember going to him and I was like, what do I need to change to get sober? What do I need to change to get clean? And I was thinking it was this or that. And he was like, Matt, you got to change everything. Everything.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a huge step was my environment. You know, I was living in this Sheridan, Wyoming area, but it was a small town that had a very high homeless and just a lot of struggling going on with alcoholism and addiction in this town. There's a lot of easy access to whatever you wanted. And I found out when a friend of mine said, hey, you should come check out Maine. And so when I flew out here, I remember going up to Acadia National Park and I had it on video with my phone. As soon as I got out the car, I said, I think I just moved to Maine. It was my environment that needed to change.
Yeah.
And I think that is absolutely one of the most critical parts of recovery is changing where you live, who you hang out with, the things that you're doing, all of that. But you can't do that on your own. I couldn't do it on my own.
Right.
It was when I turned and I knew that there was something bigger out there. There was something bigger than me out there, God, that I needed to follow. Instead of trying to figure out what I was doing wrong, I was trying to see more of what he was doing right. And now my reflection is not so much on who I am, trying to figure out who I am. It is whose I belong, whose I am.
Yeah. Your identity is in somebody different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it's important when you make that break from your past and you move to that new place and you start over and you make new friends. I know in our church, perhaps the most important part of my relationship with my church family is our small group. You know, we meet weekly, and we've been meeting weekly with them for years. And they're my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more of my family than I could ever say. But being able to be in that relationship with others, that more personal and intimate relationship where you can share what's really going on is critical.
100%. I go to a church up in Lewiston, Maine called Pathway Vineyard, and I'm the leader of what's called Celebrate Recovery Group. And that was a blessing. I remember going into it and not knowing what I was getting into, and I did 2 12-step programs, and now on October 13th, I'll be leading my first group of 11 men. And it's critical, like you said, building relationships in those small groups. In the military, we're trained to kind of keep everything quiet and be tough, be strong. Even as the way I grew up, I was raised that way. We don't share emotion. But I believe through building a relationship with God, that's not what he wants. You know, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be honest with each other. It's okay to tell each other what's going on in your life. We're here to support each other and to love each other. That's what Jesus wants us to do. And those things can only be formed by spending time together. And so by changing environment also includes, for me, changing church, finding a church that believed in Jesus. And like you said, being a part of those small groups, whether it's Celebrate Recovery or another type of group, it's critical.
And I want to give a shout out to Celebrate Recovery. We have a chapter at our church.
Awesome.
And they meet every week, rain, shine, snow. That meeting is going to happen. Even if the meeting is scheduled on a Christmas day, they're going to be there on Christmas Day because people gear their weeks around it.
That's right.
And the beautiful thing about Celebrate Recovery is it's for hurts, harms, and habits. So it's for who doesn't have a harm
That's right.
that they're trying to recover from,
Right.
or a hurt that, they were taken advantage of as a child or something.
Yes.
We all have I may have not gotten the 3 H's right, but I'm pretty close.
Hurts, habits, hang-ups. Yeah. There you go.
And, I think being in a group where you can share that and then break off into your smaller groups for each of your particular things.
That's right.
Just so restorative.
Absolutely. 100%. I know a lot of times, there's programs out there, AA, NA, and Celebrate Recovery it's not to take away from that. I kind of add to the toolbox of recovery, if you will, but it adds the most key ingredient. I mean, the AA they go by their big book, but the real big book is the Bible.
Right.
And I remember if you open up a Celebrate Recovery Bible, the very first sentence in it is, the Bible is the greatest book on recovery ever written.
Yep.
And it's true. When you base your recovery on your Savior, it changes your entire perspective. So that's what, at least that's been part of my journey, and it's my hope. And I feel now my calling is to help other veterans who are struggling like I was. I know a lot. I've lost way too many friends to either suicide or accidental overdose or drank themselves to death. And it's my calling now that my story, what I went through, is not going to be just buried.
Right.
Good.
It's going to be shared so that it can help other people.
I understand one of your therapies, so to speak, is with a camera.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I just came back from Rocky Mountain National Park. I have a deep passion for wildlife and nature photography on top of bow hunting. And I spent some time, I'm actually in a program. This is another good thing for veterans. I'm in a program called the Veterans Rehabilitation and Education Program, VRNE. And they actually help with going back to school for any type of trade you want to do. So I picked photography. So they help me with school, getting a camera, all the things you might need to pursue a profession. I know veterans that want to build horse saddles, and they'll pay for that. All the tools to build leather, everything.
Yeah, Bob, you were involved with a program like that.
Mm-hmm. I worked for the VA as an adjunct professor.
Oh, cool.
And I taught 400% disabled vets how to make a living as a guide. And it was the first one in the state of Maine. And they came and spent a year and a half here. And we went through a whole scenario of different ways to guide and different ways to make a living as a guide. Let it be a fly fishing guide for smallmouth or trout or a big game hunter or a birder. Yeah. And then once we found what they were efficient at and what they liked, then we produced them in that area, and then they all got their licenses. And 3 out of the 4 are now registered Maine guides and do this for a living. So we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah. I wish I would have found that. Heck, I would have done that too.
Oh, you would have loved
awesome,
it. We had a lot of fun, and we learned a lot of stuff, and they really, really enjoyed it.
That's great.
So, Matthew, what's the name of that program at the VA again?
The VRE, Veterans Rehabilitation and Education Program, VRNE.
Okay.
It's in every state. There's usually a resource coordinator at every VA that does VRNE specifically. So as a veteran that's gone through this, you said it before, there are so many programs out there to help veterans, but you have to advocate for them. And the best way is mouth to mouth, veterans talking like this.
Yes, absolutely.
Just getting the word out there. This is out there. And different states have different things available. So depending on where you are, the thing is connecting with somebody that is willing to lend a hand, finding the right person that can guide you to those resources. And hopefully, through this, we'll be touching the lives of some other veterans.
So, Matthew, you mentioned you have a few passions.
Yes, sir.
You had mentioned hunting and bow hunting and photography. So, could you just give us a little bit more feedback on all of that?
Yes. So, when I was stationed out in Colorado, I remember my daughter was born. I bought my first camera. It was a 35 millimeter Minolta, and this was in 1990.
The X700? Yeah, that's the one I bought.
Yeah.
I just remember sending out like dozens of rolls of film, and remember you would get them back, and you'd have to go through them and pick out the ones you. Well, those days are over. You know that they. But yeah, I developed a passion for nature. I'd say landscape photography in general, and even when I was going through all my years of addiction and homelessness and whatnot. I missed that. I missed being behind a lens. I missed being able to take pictures. So getting back into the BRE program, I started taking pictures of just everything, you know. And I guess one way I knew what angle I was going to go to was in 2018. I left the VA, the rehab program, and I went out west and I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, the 2,653 miles. I did it in 2018. And I did it again in 2019. And the difference is, I love long distance hiking, but the difference in my photography was evident if you look at the pictures, because in 2018, I was taking pictures of like me. Here I am at this, you know, and here's a mountain. And I shifted that to, you could see, I would rather take a picture of, instead of just a mountain, I was taking people, looking at pictures of people looking at the mountain, catching expressions and catching life, stopping time. And all of a sudden I just realized I could do something with this. So I got involved with the BRE program and really started getting into a niche of wildlife photography, wildlife and landscape photography. And now I didn't know this would take me here, but I use my photography to support programs here, like Pine Grove, and there's others like VAST, the Veterans Adaptive Sports Training Program. So I go on the different outdoor adventures with them. I take my photographs, and it's able to help support whatever organization.
So you have a website for these photos?
Yeah. It's Landis, my last name Landis, adventurephotography.com.
Great. Yeah. I encourage everybody to go out and take a view at some. The pictures are, especially I like the landscape.
Thank you.
You've got a great eye for those photos. And, you know, when you take a picture of a landscape, it's, you know, as you know, I've been taught, it provides the evidence that we were created and that this was created. And it just really opens the door. I think it was very therapeutic for you to start you on your faith walk.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have other passions, though, from what I understand. You mentioned bow hunting in particular.
Yeah, that I'd say out of everything, bow hunting is by far my deepest passion. I chased elk out in Colorado for 10 years, and for 5 years I worked for a guide out there and chasing backcountry elk. During out there, it's called primitive only. So you'd have open sight muzzleloader or archery. So we get back into the Eagle's Nest wilderness up in the mountains with the horses and the whole nine. And there's nothing like, to me, being around elk and in September, the bugling and all that. Just it shakes my spine. So I'm a deeply passionate bow hunter. But I moved out here.
I was about to say, we don't have many of them in Maine.
I know, but I didn't. So out there, we have whitetail. We have whitetail too, but we have mostly elk and mule deer. But when I moved out here, I got last year opened up to whitetail hunting, and that was a whole different story.
Yeah,
and I just fell for it, man. Once I got into it, all the scent and all the way they react so differently and everything. Yeah. And I took my first whitetail. My first year bow hunting year was last year, and I took my first whitetail here with a bow. So it was amazing. I'm a deep, passionate bow hunter.
Yeah. Bow hunting is a different way of hunting, for sure.
Yes.
You're not taking a 400-yard shot.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like standing, 30 yards from a bull with in September who's all, he's got 20 cows and he's leaving to come check you out and he's mad and screaming, and yeah, you're going to get your adrenaline going real quick. It's fun.
I see you have a companion with you.
Yeah, Kawhi, my service dog.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Come here, Kawhi. Come. The VA helped connect me with my buddy here. Come.
Yeah.
His name's Kawhi. He's a Newfoundland Border Collie mix that came from an Indian reservation
Wow.
out in Montana. He went through a program the VA hooked me up with called From Stray to Service. So he was on a farm, and out there on these reservations, these dogs run wild. They just shoot them. There's so many of them. Wow. So he made it into a program where I remember the day we met. I went up to this thing that was going on, and they had 5 or 6 dogs. Come check them out, come check out the dogs and all that. And so they came up, met them all. He was the last one, and I was standing there. He walked right up to me. He took his nose and he stuck up my belly button and sat me on the chair behind me. And that was it. They were like, "You take him home Friday, you come back Monday, and we'll go over this and that." He came home Friday. It was done. He was mine. We went back for training, but it was mostly my training. I got to say, if you're a veteran, I've been with him 4 years now, and this dog has been all over the country with me, speaking at different organizations for veterans. He's been a loyal companion and completely changed my life. He's my peace, gives me a lot of, he knows my energy, I know his. And if you're a veteran looking for a service dog, there are organizations out there that can help you connect with one.
You know, I've heard the saying, and it's true. I wish I was as good a person as my dog thinks I am.
I
right?
love that.
Isn't that great?
That's
I mean, because
awesome.
that's the way your dog treats you.
Yes, sir.
You are the best person in the world, even on your worst day.
Yes,
Every
sir.
day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every
All
day.
day.
Yep.
You know, to live up to the expectations of your dog is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, I ran a photography class for veterans a couple times, 3-4 times, and we would take 8 or 10 guys, and they'd take pictures of wildlife one day, half of them and half scenery, and we had a lot of fun doing that. But we would like to have you head that up, and we'll see if we can get some veterans to come and spend the weekend, put them up, and do another one with a lot more professional photographer than just me. I carry a camera because I don't carry a gun, and I take pictures of what I see in the woods as a guide and as a just a naturalist. But when you have a professional person help you, you can learn so much. It's such a nice world.
Yeah, I would be honored to do
We'd
something
love
like
to have
that.
you. So if there's anybody out there that thought they might be interested in photography and come and learn more about it from a real professional, then let us know.
Yeah, we've got
you, man.
Thank you.
we've got waterfalls within 5 minutes.
We got it all.
Yeah.
There's a lake I drove by coming up.
Huge Wyman Lake that
Wyman
goes
Lake.
from here to Canada.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah, it goes all over.
The
But
beauty that would be here, that would be a great opportunity.
we have how many remote ponds within 30 miles of here?
Over 450.
Wow.
So a couple.
And they have a lot of birds, loons, and animals. And it doesn't have to be a moose.
Right.
Like people we were taking pictures of ants and butterflies and bumblebees and
Yeah, I will, if I can say, there's something special about photography, and it's an art. And as a veteran that was just getting into it, what I found was when I was learning it and looking at my work and learning about light and ISO and all these shutter speed, it opened up my mind, and it just allowed space for everything just to settle a little bit. And when you start doing that, for me, it allowed the space for God to work in me. It's a wonderful tool to be able to connect you. You think it's connecting you to, you're taking pictures, but it's really connecting you to yourself. It's an amazing, amazing tool.
you don't even have to have an expensive camera.
No,
You can
no.
have a cell phone. Most of the guys
Yeah.
that would come would have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And I had a fella sit by a stump for an hour and a half waiting for that mouse to come out of that so he could get his head sticking out of that hole.
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, so-
And there's a lot of beauty to be seen in Maine.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, it's
450 lakes.
Yeah.
Just in this area.
Well, a couple more than that, but
A couple more.
450.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ponds and little lakes and streams. And
Amazing.
That could be a great collaboration.
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
folks would really, really like, because not everybody likes to hunt.
Right.
There's lots of people that don't want to hunt,
Right.
but they still want the outdoors, and that's what Wyatt targets all summer. We take those folks all over. It's been a missed by so many people that guide for a living, and we take them all over to
The wildlife safaris.
We do wildlife safaris. We teach them about trees. We teach them how they intellect and how they communicate, when what this tree does for the environment and what it does for animals and all this stuff. And so that's just one thing that we do. But we've been doing it for now 16 years, and the rest of the world hasn't really caught up to what we're doing. And we don't promote it in the whole world, but I guess we're going to now.
That's awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great.
It's so cool to know what that pine tree does and what that fir does and what that spruce does and how they interlink and who's in charge. And this is the mother tree and this is, and all this stuff. They're all in communications with each other.
Yep.
Yep.
That's one thing I learned about the whitetail hunting was learning how the difference, even now with acorns dropping and how they'll move from food to the rut and everything. It's completely different than Colorado.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a whole different hunt. So got to be, just in a tree stand and all that. Just love it, love it, love it.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the shooting of the buck.
No.
It's the figuring him out.
Yeah.
And if I can take his picture, it's just as good as me shooting it.
Heck, it's getting up at 3 a.m. and that first cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know you're about to get in the tree. That's the moment right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Matthew, I thank you for your story and your honesty and candor.
Yes, sir.
But I'm really hopeful that veterans or law enforcement, anybody who's facing similar issues in their lives, that they reach out and they get help. Particularly veterans. And I just Googled during one of our breaks here, I Googled Maine Veteran Services, and they have a benefit handbook that we'll be showing a shot of. And it lists all of the federal VA benefits.
Yeah.
And then it lists all the state benefits
Okay. Great.
for rehab and for vocational training and all of those different activities. And so I just want to encourage folks to take advantage of that resource. And the other thing that strikes me with your story is one of my dad's sayings, is the best indication of the future is the past. And generally speaking, people do not change.
Mm-hmm.
And what a terrible view of the world, right? But we are who we are, and we don't change. But there's the rest of that statement. The best indication of the future is the past, and generally people don't change, unless they almost die, they almost kill somebody else, or they find God. And that's when the window for change opens for a brief period of time.
Yeah.
There has to be a consequence. You almost died.
Yes, sir.
Somebody actually, if they hadn't brought you back and treated you, you probably would have.
Absolutely.
People don't change, generally speaking, because they say, wow, my life's on the bad path. There has to be a consequence.
Yep.
And I'm just so thankful that you had the consequence, but while that window was open, you found God, because that is the most restorative method of change.
Absolutely.
And the longest lasting.
He put you to work now.
Yes, sir. He did.
He's putting you to work now.
Yeah.
You've got
All
a
right.
passion.
I give you the chance.
Yeah.
Well, a life without a passion is just a wandering life.
Right.
And when you find that passion belongs to your Savior, it's a very, very hopeful life. And I went from, not wanting to wake up to I can't wait to get out of bed now.
Right.
And my hope is just that every other veteran, if I could say one thing, is just never, ever, ever give up the fight. Whether you're fighting, I think my service to my country has never ended.
Right.
And it's still going on. And it's to help those brothers and sisters of mine that are out there that are struggling. Don't give up the fight. You can do this.
They need you. They need you.
Thank you.
Well, Matthew, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for sharing your story. We hope it reaches and hits other folks who are going through struggles of their own. And we want you to know, too, that Pine Grove program is here to be part of that. Just check us out, find an offering of one of our activities that we're doing, and come on out and share in it. But Matthew, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Maine Knows How is brought to you by Modern Woodmen of America, a member-owned fraternal financial services organization since 1883, and by Pine Grove Programs, supporting veterans, first responders, and law enforcement by providing free outdoor opportunities to those who serve, have served, and their families.
Welcome back to Maine Knows How. And I just want to, mention directly to everybody watching, what we do here is kind of unique. Pine Grove Programs is really here to support our veterans, our law enforcement, and first responder communities. These folks have different stresses in their lives, and we're here for you. We want to give you a time of peace. So please reach out to us, check out our website, check out our offerings of outdoor activities. But along with that comes the need for sponsorship. And just this podcast, everything that we do, sponsoring a slot for a deer hunt for a week.
Yeah.
And it costs the program a considerable sum. And we spend all the money we raise doing it, whether it's the bear hunt, or the deer or the coyotes. So please consider sponsoring this program. And while I was away, when I was vacationing, you guys had a podcast, and I understand we got a new sponsor.
We do. True Enterprises, very nice company. They're a solar company, and they're in southern Maine. But they also do a lot of work around Moosehead Lake. And he has a nice facility there. And I went up and visited it. It's unbelievable. Right in the middle of the woods, he has everything. He has his computer, washer, dryer, all the lights, any time of the year you get there.
Wow.
It's incredible. No more gas lights, no more kerosene lamps and all that stuff. I mean, those were nice years ago, but now time has changed. And you don't have to spend exorbitant amount of money to do this. You can put in a small system and then upgrade as time goes on. So it's really pretty incredible what they have. And these guys, all the people that sponsor us, sponsor veterans, policemen, firemen, first responders in what we do. It's not because they want to talk about deer hunting or bear hunting. It's about the veterans that we take and the policemen that we take and how we're trying to change their lives and bring them to Jesus but using the outside as a healing tool.
Right.
Yep.
So. That's awesome, Bob. And again, if you're interested in sponsoring, just reach out to us on our website and we'll get right back to you. But it's that time of the show again.
Yeah.
Wyatt, for how-to.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
So this month, we were talking about deer hunting before.
Yep.
And setting stands and where we like to set stands. And I want to talk about just things to think about when you're trying to get ready. Like you have an area that you want to hunt and you're trying to find the right place to put your stand. And one of the things I like to do is I like to think about when I want to hunt that stand. If it's going to be in the morning or the evening. If it's going to be a morning or an evening, either way, you want to think about where the sun is going to be. You don't want to be looking into the sun. So you want to set your stand on one side or the other of a certain area.
So you're going to have multiple stands, is what I'm kind of hearing.
At times.
At times.
They might not be right next to each other, but they might be down the road from each other.
Right.
Another important thing are the thermals. Thermals are how the
Thermals.
air
Very much so.
in the morning, everything's cool, right? So
Right.
that everything settles. As the day naturally warms up, it starts to rise, and it naturally pulls that scent up higher on the mountains. And so there's even studies that show that big deer follow thermals more than wind. So they'll be on top of even if the wind's blowing the wrong way for them, they're still worried about those thermals more than anything. They can smell a long ways, and that's how those scent currents are naturally flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know you're going to be hunting in the morning,
Right.
means the scent is going to be rising. So you're going to want to
For
be
the rest
high.
of the day.
Yes, at least into the middle of the day. So you want to be high, and you want to make sure that the sun isn't in your eyes.
Okay.
And then in the evening, it reverses. It starts going down as the day cools off, pushes the scent down to the low areas. And so you'll have something lower that isn't with your sun in your eyes as well.
So in the morning, you want to be elevated, and in the evening, you want to be lower.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have places where I like to still hunt.
I almost want to throw the flag and call baloney on that.
Well,
but
I have places that I like to still hunt,
yeah.
and it's like a big mountain, and there's these 3 sets of ridges. And they're like big cliff, and on the edges of the 3 ridges is just a strict drop off.
Right.
And so every day the deer, they like to bet on the middle one, and then they'll be like in the middle, because in the evening they'll smell things coming down. And in the evening they'll work down closer to the bottom of the ridge, and in the morning they go onto that closest edge to the cliff faces. Nothing can get up that way, and then they will just kind of work their way down, and they'll have the scent going up towards them.
Incredible.
And so I've seen it. And so when I go hunting those areas, I try to get there earlier
Right.
than them, and so we'll pass each other. Yeah.
You know, the science behind the hunt that you've gained through experience.
Yeah, and so this is some of the stuff that we like to do. We do this so that people that come
Right.
have an easier time at it.
Right.
We try to do as much of the work prior as we can.
This knowledge is gained from hundreds and hundreds of
Hours in the woods,
Yeah.
and also just studying, reading, everything else as well.
And the reason you come to Pine Grove Lodge is because people have put the footwork and the time in ahead of time.
We don't have a stand that I wouldn't sit in myself. So.
Right.
We don't put a stand out for nothing.
You know,
No.
No,
It's
there's a
there for-
reason why it's there.
Yeah.
so that's kind of my how-to for this,
Yeah,
this
you know,
episode. And
Wyatt, I have to say, every once in a while, I just have these little brain explosions that it's just not as easy as grabbing your gun and sitting in a.
it can be.
It can be,
but there's a reason why only 20% of hunters get a deer in Maine.
Right. That makes sense. Well, that's awesome, Wyatt, and I just the complexity of the hunt.
Yeah, it can be as deep as you want to make it.
Right. It never ceases to amaze me. But with that, Bob, I'm sure you have a few stories about the complexities and the essence of hunting.
You know, people that go into the store and they buy a lottery ticket, and every once in a while somebody wins. Deer hunting's the same way. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference. You can just be in the right place
At the right time.
And wow, all of a sudden, look what I got. I mean, now you're a good hunter. But
Right. Now you're a good hunter.
right, it's okay. We spend so much time trying to put these stands in places where deer will travel, because everybody that comes wants to shoot a big buck. Well, big bucks don't travel where little deer do unless they're mating or there's a doe in heat. He'll hang around until she's ready, and then he's out of here. He's going to the next one. If the people that come do what your guide tells you to do, this is a guy that lives here 365 days a year. He hunts birds, rabbits, coyotes, deer, moose, bears, this is our environment. And then what happens a lot, they come and then they've read so many magazines or watched TV that they have their own idea. So we'll put you in a stand in the morning, and then they're off wandering around. I hate to say that most of them...
They get out of the stand and walk?
Walk around and walk all over, and then they'll come back and sit in the stand again.
Hey, this is not the Rick Labby tracking
No, that's
a deer. This is walking in the woods with a
well,
gun.
there's a difference from a guy like Rick or Lanny
Yeah.
or a lot of these gentlemen that know what to do and why to do it and when to do it. These are just hunters that come on a deer hunt, and they say, I can only sit for 2 hours and then I got to walk. Well, as a guide, you have to take that into consideration of he's going to be there for 2 hours, and then he's going to walk where? And it's very difficult to put him in a spot unless they just sort of run into each other. Now, some of the guys that come, they'll say, tell me what to do, Bob. I say, okay, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. Yep. And I do. And they shoot some big bucks. My friend Andrew, he's killed 5, 6, 200-pound bucks in 8 years. And then seen lots of other deer. He does exactly what I ask him to do.
Well, you once said if you want to get a big buck, you don't shoot a small one.
Right. You let him go.
You let them go.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of times guys will say, hey, Bob, I want to shoot a big buck. I say, okay, there's a travel lane right here. It's been used. I've done my research. I know on the back side of this ridge, it's been cut and there's a road here. And them big deer traveling from that side are coming over on this side to check does. They're going to travel this lane. It's a travel lane. I will put a stand on which side, whichever way the wind is blowing most of the time, and lots of little things. And just go, sit. Don't make any noise. Don't do anything. Just sit.
Don't listen to a podcast.
No, whatever. And then one gentleman, he shot a 10-pointer out of that stand. Right?
Wow.
That was okay, because that's what we hunt for is gunshots. We don't carry guns. We hunt through you.
Right.
Okay, our success is if you shoot.
Right.
So we're sitting there and bang, we hear him shoot. Oh, geez, that was Rob that shot. Let's go up there and you come. Yeah, I shot a 10-pointer, and his brother says, can I sit in that stand? I said, yeah, because it's a travel lane.
Right.
I put him in that stand that afternoon. He shot an 8-pointer. After
my
we
goodness.
went up there, dragged it, gutted it, dragged it out, went in that stand.
A couple hours later, another one comes moseying.
Another one through. And then sometimes you can sit there for a week.
Right.
My friend Andrew, he sat in this exact same stand. We call it Andrew's cleavage. It's just the way the mountains do this. And they travel that lane according to which way the wind's blowing. Put him in there. He hunted Monday. He hunted Tuesday. He hunted Wednesday. Thursday, he says to me, can I go to Bowtown with you guys? I've been there for 3 days. I ain't seen nothing. I says, well, you come. I don't care. So he did. He came hunting with us. Friday when he went back, big pile of deer turds right by the stand where I took a picture of it.
There you go.
Their clock is not our clock.
Right.
They don't have nothing on their wrist.
Right.
They're just moving, checking does. And if I can intercept you in those areas and you stay there, you'll get one. Or you'll get it. Well, sometimes, twice last year, a guy says, I seen the biggest buck I ever seen in my life. So why didn't you shoot? He didn't stop moving. He just kept walking. I said,
Oh, my goodness.
oh, my God, really?
You want him to stand up and put a target?
So it's all fun.
It is.
Deer hunting got to be fun.
Right.
Sometimes we get too serious about this.
Right.
You know, and they get like crazy.
Well, I think people equate success with getting a trophy buck.
Right.
And the joy, as even Matthew said earlier, is getting out there
Right.
and enjoying the time in nature.
Yeah, it's enjoying that time. It's enjoying the truck ride, breakfast. And they sit all in and they have stories and they're telling stories. And I mean, there's more deer stories told in here, go all the way to your knee. I mean, then at night they do the same thing. They come in here before dinner, and you should hear it at the dinner tables.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's some stories that fly around there.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, so it's all good fun.
Bob, that's a great story, and it's true. It's truth, right? I mean, you have run this lodge for what? How many years?
Almost 30 years, and before that, this lodge has been here for 50 years taking hunters.
Right. Yeah. So there's a history of success associated with the lodge. But there was a little bird tweeting in my ear that one of the folks that we had come hunting here on the bear hunt was one of the lobstermen who donated us some lobster for our annual lobster bake.
Absolutely.
And that he came here and had a very interesting experience.
He did. And very nice gentleman.
From Hawk's Lobster.
Hawk's Nest,
yeah.
Yeah, and Hawk's Lobster. He was a veteran. Geez, he fell out of the boat once while he was lobstering. He grabbed the rope, got him drawn back into the boat.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, geez, it was in winter.
Yeah.
But, he was...
was that Damon?
It was Damon.
Yeah, okay.
Nice gentleman.
Yes, he is.
And, geez, he came and he says to... Jeffrey tells him, he says, it's turkey season. He says, it is?
So he's up at the lodge bear hunting.
Right. And he says, but on Tuesday, Paul brought him to shoot on Monday to make sure he was sighted in.
Right.
And that was really good. And Paul did a great job getting him zeroed in. And on Tuesday, he says, I'd like to go turkey hunting. Do you have a gun, Bob? So I go find him a shotgun and I send Wyatt over to find him some bullets. And he get him some. All right. So he's going to go turkey hunting. And where do I go? So we said, go over here, go over there. We've been seeing turkeys. He goes over and went hunting. He shot a turkey. So that was really good. So he's driving back. On the side of the road, there's a guy hit a deer.
Oh.
So he stops. You need help, man? Yeah. Oh, he's hit my car and this and that, and helps him dress it off. And he's, what are you doing with that deer? Nothing. He says, you want it? Yeah, I'll take it. So the guy helps him lower it in his truck. Yeah. And he comes back, calls the sheriff's department. The sheriff says, all right, I'll be over. And the sheriff come over and give him a permit for it. So he brought it out back and scun it all out and quartered it up and put it in his cooler. The son of a gun.
He's a pretty happy
Did
fella.
well.
Yeah.
And then that night, he went bear hunting. Didn't he shoot a nice bear? So he got a turkey, a bear, and a deer in one day. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Wow.
Yeah. That doesn't happen every day.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
How does that happen?
And then he went home early. So, he was a pretty happy fellow.
Yeah, Damon, a veteran.
He is.
And he's been through some
tough times.
Some tough times, but a young man who's just wonderful to talk to. And lobsterman, he and his friends who support us at Pine Grove programs at Hawk Lobster. I mean, they provided us with 80 lobster.
Did very good.
And they're just a wonderful group of guys.
I've talked to them, and we hope to go there and shoot a podcast on the lobster boat and go and lobstering with these guys. And they said that they would bring veterans to experience a day lobstering. So isn't that something special out of just one connection?
It just keep on paying it forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it happened from Tim Earl right in town, which owned the store, and his wife's brother is the lobsterman. I mean, you can't tell.
In Maine, everybody.
Well, it's God that does all those connections.
Right.
All that happened because of that one connection.
That's just incredible.
So it's pretty good.
Well, it's been an active month.
It always is, and we hope that he comes back and visits us more than once.
Well, come back next month. We'll have some more stories about the upcoming deer hunt.
I'm sure.
But for now, this is Tim, Wyatt, and Bob signing off from Maine Knows How.
Maine Knows How. is made possible by you and by these community-minded sponsors. Modern Woodmen of America, a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. Together with our members, we've been touching lives and securing futures since 1883. True Enterprises, a local solar installation team with over a decade of experience delivering custom energy solutions across Maine. Sebasticook Valley Federal Credit Union, supporting our local community with valuable services, a friendly atmosphere, and caring employees.
J.W. Parks Golf Course, a 9-hole facility with a full-service golf shop and driving range.
Pine Grove Programs, supporting veterans, first responders, and law enforcement by providing free outdoor opportunities for those who serve and their families. Moosehead Trail Trading Post, offering quality hunting and fishing gear with expert advice for your budget and outdoor needs. And by Digital Spirit Media, delivering over 30 years of technical expertise in media and event production. Maine knows how.